Welcome to Crafty Café, a monthly offering from the Pflugerville Public Library, usually held the third Sunday of each month and currently being offered virtually. I'm Meg Miller, an adult services librarian, here with another fun craft geared for ages 12 and up. Those who registered through the library calendar can pick up their material supply kits between February 14th and February 27th. For everyone else watching, we hope you are able to give this project a try. Let's get started by taking a look at the materials we'll use for this Pizza Pan Chalkboard. This month's Crafty Café kit is going to come in these gigantic Ziploc 2.5 gallon bags so that we could fit the pizza pan in it, which of course is going to be your first and most important item for this Pizza Pan Chalkboard craft. Additionally, in the bag, we are providing the little stand so that you'll be able to set your chalkboard up somewhere. You have a length of nautical rope. You aren't actually going to need all of this, so that's where your scissors are going to come in handy. We are sending a chalk marker that you'll be able to use going forward, a little bow, and then this is some chalkboard vinyl that we're going to actually use to make our chalkboard. Additionally to the scissors, you will want to have a hot glue gun. So let's get that glue gun plugged in and get ready to put our Pizza Pan Chalkboard together. While my hot glue gun is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start with our chalkboard vinyl here. I used the Libraries Brothers Scan and Cut CM350s to cut out 11¼ inch circles out of this material so that we can just go ahead and lay it on. This craft could also be completed with some chalkboard paint along those lines to turn it into a chalkboard, but I felt like this was pretty straightforward and easy to get us going on the way. What is not going to be the easiest or most straightforward is getting this backing off of your vinyls. So you're going to want to find a part where you can get that backing started. You may need to use a knife or your scissors, your nail if you can get in between there. And just go ahead and get that backing starting to come up. And I'm not going to remove all of it right off the bat. I'm just going to remove a section. So I'm going to just tear that off to get us started. That way, since I am not removing the entirety of the backing, I can get it set where I like it, check the placement, and then pull the rest off. So I've removed, some of you may have the label still on here. Once I pulled that off, there was just a little bit of that adhesive still on there. I'm going to make sure that that's pretty much off so that I have a smooth surface for my vinyl to lay onto. And just like that, it catches. That is not exactly where I wanted it. So I'm going to use the bottom of the vinyl placement, not my sticky side, the part that I have a lot of movement in, to kind of get a sense of it being placed on there, and then I am slowly going to push up with my hands, making sure that any little bubbles that might be under that vinyl are pushed out. And so now I have just this first part of vinyl adhered, and I can get ready for the rest. So I'm going to get my backing pulled up just a little bit here so that I can get that going. And there it is. Alrighty. Try and get that pulled up all the way across my circle. You can even start from the other side. Get it going same time. And as you can see, it does not, for me, want to come up in all one perfect piece. So I'm just going to slowly, and then as I get a tear, go back and make sure I'm pulling up that backing so that none of it is underneath. Just using my nail to kind of pull along the backing to get that started lifting. like with some tapes where it doesn't want to come exactly straight across. There we go. And now once I've got that going, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. There we go. Alright, so again, I'm going to come from the side that's already stuck down. Just using my hands, I'm going to gently rub back and forth across, making sure before I get too far along that any bubbles that are underneath the vinyl are pushed out. That'll be much easier than if I find bubbles once I've got my vinyl completely laid down. You would be able to clear those, but it's a lot easier at this stage of the game. So just pulling the backing a little bit and then running across, smoothing out. If you got an old credit card or something along those lines, you can also use that. If you also are familiar with like a Cricut machine or like the Brothers Scan and Cut, those electronic cutting machines, and have some tools like that, you may have a brayer or something that you can use as well to get this vinyl laid down without any bubbles. All right, so I'm gonna go for that big last piece and gently push all the way across. Excellent. So I did get my vinyl put on with no real bubbles, a few little bumps, but nothing that I think is really going to mess with my final craft. So my next step is to measure out my length of nautical rope. I do want him to go all the way around. So I'm just going to lay it out here, bringing it around till I meet the point where my start is. I cut just a little past that. I've got some extra nautical rope if I need to use it. And I'm actually going to start with the non-taped ends. Make sure that there we are. We are definitely warm here. And I'm just going to lay a bead of glue a little bit along the outside here. And then I'm going to lay my rope right on that bead of glue, just a little bit at a time. And then continue around my pizza pan, going probably maybe 3 inches, 4 inches around before I start laying down the rope. That way my glue doesn't cool, but I've got a good portion that I can place down before having to move on to the next section. And I really am trying to get my glue just in that outer edge of the pizza pan here. Get that to there. And I'm almost ready for a second glue stick. Very likely this project will take you about 2 glue sticks. Put a little bit of glue on this end, melt him down. That way I can make sure he sticks there. Alright, and continuing around, not being super precise with my glue, just making sure it's in this edge here so that I can get my nautical rope right down in. Watch your fingers. If you've done any workings with hot glue, you know it does get its name for a good reason. We don't want you to burn your fingers. Almost all the way around now. And so it looks to me like I left a little bit wider of an edge here with the vinyl than I did on the other side, but my nautical rope is really going to cover that up. So as I placed down my vinyl, I wasn't too concerned about it being exactly centered. You are definitely welcome to measure that out and take that time to really make sure that your vinyl gets centered on. I'd also encourage, if you've got any other ribbon or rope that you are fond of using, definitely feel free to substitute those in with this craft. Because this is nautical rope, I also considered that maybe some seashells or other ribbons would look kind of cool with it and give it more of a nautical vibe. So as you can see, I've gotten all the way around with my nautical rope hot glued on, and I do have a bit of an extra, which I expected. So now I can really get right in where I started with my rope and get this extra bit trimmed off. And then I am going to come in here again with my hot glue gun, give a little bit and a little bit inside the rope so that it sticks together, making sure I don't get my fingers in there too much. And then I am also going to use this part where the ropes meet together to place my ribbon and my little flower, because I do want to hide that from view. And really, you could do this at the bottom and flip that ribbon around. I like the idea of it here at the top, so I'm just going to come in again, hot glue, press it right down. I'm going to do a little on the edge of my ribbon so that my ribbon pieces really stay flat. Pulling off any little strings. These little burlap ribbons may have started to fray some. You may want to trim those. And there, really that quickly and that simply, I have created a Pizza Pan chalkboard. And we've got our chalk marker here. And you could do a menu on this. Since we just had Valentine's Day last week, you could just have written a message of love. You could put down chores. Really any number of things you can use this awesome little Pizza Pan chalkboard craft for. With the chalk marker, you will want to make sure that you're using just a damp cloth or a damp paper towel to clean off, because the marker isn't going to come off like a traditional piece of chalk, but with a little moisture you will be able to get that right off and get that cleared. You should be also able to use this with regular chalk if you've got some of that around. And then our little stand here, just like the little plate stands, and get it put right up. So we really do hope that you enjoy this Crafty Cafe for this month and our chalkboard pizza pan.